Right now at noon, another Democrat ends his presidential campaign. We'll tell you why. And the Oscar nominations announced. We'll tell you who received the most nods.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Monday. Hope you all had a nice weekend. We saw a little bit of snow this morning. Could we see some more this week? Let's head over to the Weather Center. Dave Caulfield and a special guest.
Yeah,
my son. Forecast.
My son is here, and you might see some tears in his eyes. That's because I told him that there are more chances for snow in this forecast, and he just couldn't take it. You hear him right there. Yeah, he's got the gift. Anyway, let's take a look at radar. We are pretty clear right now. Any snow showers that were around this morning have long since left us, and I don't expect any more for this afternoon or tonight, but into the overnight hours, another round of light snow or maybe even some freezing drizzle is possible. Madison, on the WISC-TV Skycam, we could see plenty of snow on the ground. Temperatures are in the upper 20s and low 30s. I expect those highs to be in the lower to middle 30s throughout the day. And with those wind chills, not really a huge factor right now, but maybe feeling a few degrees lower than what the thermometer might suggest. Temperatures are staying pretty steady in the low 30s throughout the day, with a chance of some light snow or freezing drizzle during the overnight hours. We'll talk about that, plus plenty more chances for snow in your forecast in just a few minutes. Rory will help me out.
All right. Good addition.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
See in a few minutes. With the new snowfall with the new snow that fell overnight and into the morning, the Madison Streets Division says they'll be plowing and sanding residential streets today. They're asking residents to choose off-street parking options this afternoon. Crews will be out salting routes until they're in good driving condition. And for the latest weather updates, download our weather app. It features hour-by-hour forecasts, radar, and first alert traffic updates. You can download the app for free in your phone's app store. A man is arrested after being accused of sexually assaulting a disabled adult on a city bus. Madison police say Tremaine Williams is accused of making the female victim touch him inappropriately while on a Madison Metro bus on Thursday. Police say surveillance footage from the bus helped police make the arrest. He was arrested on suspicion of second-degree sexual assault of a disabled adult. An investigation is underway after multiple people were injured in a crash involving a school bus on Madison's west side. It happened around 4 o'clock Friday afternoon, the intersection of Ganser and Westward Way. Officials say 2 adults inside the SUV were injured and taken to the hospital. There were about 20 children in the bus at the time of the crash. Fire officials say 5 children were injured, taken to the hospital and released. None of the injuries considered to be life-threatening. The cause of the crash still under investigation. A shakeup in the Democratic field for presidential candidates as Cory Booker has announced he is dropping out of the race. Booker, the senator from New Jersey, had struggled in polling and fundraising since launching his bid last February. Booker was unable to hit 5% support in a single qualifying poll required to make it on stage for tomorrow's debate. Iranians are responding angrily to the news that their government shot down a Ukrainian passenger jet leaving Tehran's airport. Protests continued through the night in Iran. Witnesses say police were using live ammunition against demonstrators, and social media videos show at least one woman shot in the leg. CBS News has confirmed that President Trump approved the plan to kill General Qasem Soleimani as early as last summer should Iran cross his red line. Defense Secretary Mark Esper agreed with the decision to kill Soleimani, but said this in response to the president's assertion that attacks were planned on 4 U.S. embassies.
He didn't cite a specific piece of evidence. What he said is he believed.
Are you saying there wasn't one?
I didn't see one with regard to 4 embassies.
President Trump responded on Twitter saying to the leaders of Iran, do not kill your protesters. Thousands have already been killed or imprisoned by you, and the world is watching. More importantly, the USA is watching. An Iranian government spokesman accused President Trump of shedding, quote, crocodile tears for the Persian people. As crews continue to battle devastating wildfires in Australia, the government is now using food drops to help save starving wildlife. Helicopters are dropping thousands of pounds of carrots and sweet potatoes in a national park where fires have burned the wallabies' natural food sources. Some wildlife experts estimate up to 1 billion animals have died or have been impacted by the wildfires. The Australian government is now pledging $50 million for a wildlife recovery program to help koalas, kangaroos, and other animals. Queen Elizabeth says she has agreed to grant Prince Harry and Meghan their wish for a more independent life that will see them move part-time to Canada. The British monarch says that in a statement that the summit of senior royals today was constructive. She said it had been agreed that there will be a period of transition, which the Sussexes will spend time in Canada and the UK. The Queen says they are still issues to be resolved, but she wants it done within days. Oscar nominations were announced this morning, and the dark comic book story Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, leads the pack with 11 nominations. It narrowly edged out Martin Scorsese's crime drama The Irishman, Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Sam Mendes's World War I epic 1917. Each of those earned 10 nominations. Scarlett Johansson is a double nominee, earning a Best Actress nod for Marriage Story and Best Supporting Actress for Jojo Rabbit. Critically acclaimed performances by Jennifer Lopez, Eddie Murphy, and Adam Sandler did not receive nominations. And the Green Bay Packers are moving on to the NFC Championship game after defeating the Seattle Seahawks 28-23. The Packers will take on the 49ers in San Francisco Sunday night at 5:40. On Ticketmaster and StubHub, tickets start at about $390. The winner of this game will head to the Super Bowl on February 2nd. They'll face the winners of the Tennessee Titans and Kansas City Chiefs game on Saturday. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you love grilled cheese, then you're going to love what we're making today. It's so good, I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes your new favorite. Hi. When it comes to grilled cheese, are you a traditionalist? Or do you like getting a bit more creative by mixing and matching your cheeses and kicking it up a notch with, well, let's just say anything? No matter what your answer, I think we can all agree there is nothing more comforting than the ooey gooey toasted goodness of a grilled cheese. So let me share with you my favorite way to make them, and I think it's gonna knock your socks off. We start by beating together some cream cheese and mayonnaise until it's light and fluffy. To that, we add loads of cheddar and mozzarella cheese, along with a bit of garlic powder. After everything is combined, we spread it onto slices of sourdough bread, or you can use whatever your favorite is. Now we place another slice of bread on top and butter both sides. I told you this wasn't your everyday grilled cheese. Onto the griddle it goes to get toasted until it's golden and our cheesy filling is all melty. And whether you eat this as is or cut it up and serve them as a topper or a dipper with a bowl of soup, you can't miss. To get the recipe for what we call our ultimate grilled cheese sandwich, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an ooey gooey way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we're starting the week off with some snow on the ground, and we could see some more later this week. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield and Rory have more coming up in your first alert forecast.
For a forecast that keeps your family safe, watch First Alert Weather.
Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues and call the hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 74 points. The NASDAQ up 70. The SP 500 up 17. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Here's the Father-Son Act.
Yeah, I needed a little bit of help with this forecast, and thankfully I knew who to turn to. We do have some more snow on the way later as we get into tonight and into the overnight hours. This snow that we received this morning was a little bit closer to what we were expecting, about 1 to 2 inches falling across much of southern Wisconsin. But that active weather is continuing for much of the rest of this week, but it won't be as cold today and for Tuesdays. Temperatures are expected to reach highs in the lower 30s today and close to 40 tomorrow. And then we could welcome in some more snow chances, minor as they might be, on Wednesday and Friday. All that and more coming up in just a bit. You can see the last of that snow exiting stage right on radar this morning. And we did have that snow filter in early this morning, but nothing for the last couple of hours, at least, on Doppler track. And I don't expect any more snow this afternoon. Great job, guys, with the Chiron. And this evening, I don't expect snow at all as well. But into the overnight hours, that's a different story. We'll talk about that in just a bit. So our snow depth has really increased over the past week or so after basically a month and a half with next to nothing on the ground. Oh, how quickly things can change, especially when it comes to January in Wisconsin. So most of southern Wisconsin with about 3 to 6 inches of snow on the ground right now, some slightly lighter totals as you head to the north and west. Here is a look in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam at those cloudy skies. The wind not too bad, although we are seeing those flags flying a bit as we take a look at the Capitol. 28 degrees right now, but a calm wind at the airport. I know that doesn't line up. Calm wind, but we're seeing the flags flying. Come on, Madison, get it together. Wind chill at 28 degrees, so really not much of a factor in this forecast. Thanks, bud. All right, we are talking about snow chances increasing as we get closer to the overnight hours. I think it will be probably dry for the rest of the day, but then in the early morning hours of Tuesday, that snow is possible. As we get pretty quickly into the morning hours, I don't think that snow will be an issue, but a few slick spots can't be ruled out early tomorrow morning, and then that snow chance starts to go up once again as we head into Wednesday morning as well. Now, temperatures have been very mild. We've been talking about this seemingly for the past month or two, and we're talking about mild temperatures for today, tomorrow especially. I know, close to 40, Rory, and then we're in the low 30s Wednesday, but it does look like that trend gets a little bit colder. I know, if we don't want to see that, we can turn you around, because it does look like those winter temperatures are a little bit closer to Madison than the mild temperatures that we've been experiencing. On future track, we notice those temperatures are pretty steady in the 30s for the rest of the day. There's that next round of snow on the way. Note the time here. This is midnight already. That snow filtering into southwestern Wisconsin. And then as we get into the overnight hours, a little bit closer to Madison with that light snow moving through, there could be some areas of freezing drizzle as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Any ice is not nice, as we say, so we want to watch that closely. But I do think much of that activity is over and done with by the time we get to about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then skies expected to clear. That will help those temperatures get into the upper 30s, close to 40 on Tuesday afternoon. And Wednesday, more of a mess is possible with some freezing drizzle, some snow, and even some rain in the cards, possibly as we head into the day on Wednesday. Generally, by the time we get to Wednesday at lunchtime, snow totals will be less than an inch for most of southern Wisconsin, but we'll watch that closely over the next 24 hours or so. 7 to 10 day forecast. I know, your favorite part, Roar. As we get into the next couple of days, we are watching those temperatures sort of go up and down into the 20s one day and then back to the 30s with some snow possible on Wednesday and Friday. But it does look like the consistent cold starts to sort of filter back into southern Wisconsin by the time we get to the weekend, where it will be quiet in the precipitation department. But as far as temperatures go, highs in the 20s and even the teens as we get closer to the middle of next week.
You want winter.
Yeah, exactly.
How old is he now?
He is 8.5 months, almost 9 months.
Did a very good job.
Oh,
Rory.
thanks.
Right?
Thank you.
Okay. Head on News 3 Now at noon. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company's here, taking your plant and garden questions. 270-9933, the number to call. We'll get to your questions right after this.
News 3.
Lisa Briggs of the Bruce Company is here taking your plant and garden questions. 270-9933. Good to see you. But bring a little spring inside.
Well, we have snow, so we need spring. So
Very
we've got
pretty.
bulb pans, lots of different ones, all kinds of stuff at the store. Tulips and tete-a-tetes, these are little daffodils, and hyacinth, of course. And I always think that primrose
Yeah, they're so
are
pretty.
really nice to have, like on your windowsill in the kitchen.
Great colors.
They do have really saturated colors.
All right, let's get to the phones. We're going to start with Lorraine from Wanakee. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi there.
Hi, which question?
I have some plant roots and bulbs, various ones that I had ordered but never got them in the ground before winter set in. Is it going to be okay when spring comes for me to plant these, or will I have lost them?
It's going to depend on what they look like, Lorraine. So take a really good look. Make sure that they're not drying out or moldy or soft. If that's the case, just throw them away. For bulbs, it would really be better if you got them into some pots of soil like we have here on the desk, and then you can put them in your garage, give them a cold period of about 12 weeks, and then you'll get flowers. As far as the roots, it depends on the plants. So generally, they'll make sure that they're not like getting mushy or anything, and then pot them up. That's
Okay.
what I would do with them.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Let's go to Shirley now from Lake Delton. Hi, Shirley.
Hi. My question is about my poinsettia plant. Most all the green leaves have dropped off. The few that are left are like curled, and some of the red ones have black on the edges.
Okay, it sounds like it's one of two things. Either it's in a cold spot because poinsettias hate drafts, or perhaps that you're overwatering. So poinsettias are difficult to get to come back after they've gotten to that point of no return. They're really plants that like to be in the greenhouse. And so if you've got enough foliage, I would let it dry out between waterings, move it to a spot where it's going to get good light but is not in a draft, so away from a cold window or not by a door that's always opening, and see what happens. See if you can get it some new foliage to pop. If not, it sounds like it might be past the point of no return, unfortunately.
Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
you're welcome.
Sorry I don't have better news.
This is not the time of year to transplant houseplants.
No, it is not a good time. You really want people to wait until end of February or March when days are starting to get longer. Houseplants really have a dormancy period this time of year, so they're not using a ton of water. So you want to really maybe cut back your watering. You want to not do any fertilizing unless you've got something specific like orchids that you're trying to get into bloom or something like that.
How do you know when it's time to transplant?
Generally, what you would do is around the soil, it would be, if you lifted this plant out, the roots would be right there. And it would be really difficult when you watered, like the soil's not holding any water anymore because it's full of roots.
So the water's just running through.
Correct, yes.
But some plants like to be root bound.
Yes, some plants do, especially for flowering. There are some plants where their flowering is triggered by being root bound.
All right, we have a call here, but I don't know who it is.
It's a surprise.
Oh, it is Mary from Verona. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Lisa. I took your advice. I brought in a Meyer lemon tree from the summer from my deck. I actually did not kill it, and it's the foliage is doing amazing. It was the first summer that I had it, but I cannot get any lemons. So will that happen, or will it not?
Lemon trees, citrus up here is kind of off cycle from where citrus grow, outside as a crop. So they are flowering at the sort of late part of the summer, and then fruit is developing through the winter. Like a lot of citrus is much more readily available, say at this time of year than it is during the summer. They're tricky to get to flower. So I think what you want to do is when you put it back outside for the summer, make sure it gets plenty of light, and I would use a bloom booster fertilizer and see if you can get it to flower, because that's the trigger to get the lemons.
You'd actually get real lemons?
You can, yes.
I have figs on my fig tree.
Did you eat them?
No, they're like this big.
Well, let them develop. They're good. When we had figs on our fig plants, the dog used to pull them off and chew on them and then spit them out. So we never got them.
Probably not good. All right, if you're on the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next week.
Indeed.
All right, stay warm. Here's Dave and Rory. One final check of the forecast.
Temperatures today will be in the low 30s for highs, pretty steady in fact, but the snow is done for now. I think we'll be mostly cloudy this afternoon and evening with those temperatures really staying in the 30s. There is a chance of some light snow as we head into the overnight hours into early Tuesday morning. So a few slick spots out of the question to start off Tuesday, but I don't think it will be a major deal on the roadways. Near 40 Tuesday, and then some snow possible Wednesday and Friday. You're right. I do need to stop talking.
We'll see you back here at 5, at 4, that is. Have a good afternoon.